loaded up on the surface. The other side of that pit, that's just about how wide the ore was there. It doesn't get too much wider than that in any spot. Sticking in the ground. So they really started with 7 sets of pits, almost like 7 separate mining operations.
The man cage and ore skip held the men and carried the ore. The top level where the men rode was called the man cage, and the basket that carried the ore was called the ore skip. The mine never shipped ore and men at the same time, as it was considered unsafe. The ore skip can hold 6 tons of iron ore.
This is not how you came up normally. You guys would have been climbing up a ladder way, or a series of ladders that could have gone up as high as 160 feet.
Which is a lot.
The dry house contained lockers, drying hooks for wet mining clothes, and shower facilities. Miners changed clothes in the dry house, and they hung their wet mining clothes to dry at the end of each shift by raising the clothes on hooks to the ceiling. In addition to the locker rooms, miners picked up their charged battery lamps for their hard hats in the dry house. The Tower Mine pit is one of the original pits. It was first mined in 1884. The ore was drilled by hand and blasted so that it could be removed from the ground. As the hole continued to get deeper, the miners realized that underground mining would be safer.
It was his team, certainly, but Ed really drove this thing, University of Minnesota. And he worked with this taconite, and it took him 50 years to figure it out. By the late 50s, they had a commercial product, right when we needed it, right when the rest of that ore had run out. They would have to take this hard rock and crush it to a powder. It happens to be magnetite, not hematite. Hematite's not magnetic, magnetite is. They could extract it with large magnets.
The 90-foot steel tower, or head frame, stands over the only shaft used for ore production in the final years of the mine's operation. The purpose of the head frame is to position the large bicycle-type sheave wheels at the height and angle needed for high-speed hoisting from the slightly inclined shaft. Let me tell you, it hoists fast. The engine house, of course, is the backbone of the mine. Miners and ore did not move without the aid of the engine house. It is one of the oldest structures on the property. The hoist system for various shafts was located in this building. The number 8 shaft hoist is still operational. The ore from Sudan was of exceptional quality. It did not need any processing other than crushing it into 7-inch lumps. The crushing took place in the crusher house. There are 2 crushers, one manufactured in 1893 and the other in 1937 by Alice Chalmers that performed this task. After being crushed, the ore was sent to the trestle. Once the ore left the crusher, it went to the trestle to be loaded into awaiting ore cars or placed in the stockpile for future shipment.